$780,000. That's what Derek's net worth read the night he finally checked it, alone at his kitchen table. He didn't feel rich, and he definitely didn't feel free. He felt exactly the way he felt 3 years earlier when the number was half that size. Something was wrong, and it wasn't the math. Down the street, a guy named Marcus had crossed that same number 18 months earlier. Marcus had already quit his job, and Derek still set his alarm for 5:45 every single morning. Same number, two completely different lives. Here's the stage almost nobody warns you about. Most people assume the hardest part of building wealth is the beginning, when the number is small. They brace for stage 1, stage 2, even the brutal plateau of stage 3. But there's a later stage that quietly traps more people than any of those early ones combined. It's stage 5, and it doesn't look like struggle at all. It looks like success, which is exactly why almost nobody notices they're stuck in it. Let's walk through how life actually changes at every stage, and why stage 5 is where the climb quietly stalls out. Stage 1 is survival under $1,000. Every dollar is watched, every emergency is a crisis, and fear runs the whole show. Stage 2 is stability, $1,000 to $10,000. A flat tire stops being a disaster, and you finally exhale for the first time in years. Stage 3 is the plateau, $10,000 to $100,000. This is the widest, most exhausting stair on the entire staircase, and most people spend a decade standing on it. Stage 4 is momentum, $100,000 to $500,000. Your money starts pulling real weight beside you, and progress finally feels like it's speeding up. Stage 5 is independence, $500,000 to $1 million. On paper, this is where work turns from a requirement into a choice. And stage 6 is freedom, above $1 million, where your portfolio quietly outworks you. 6 completely different lives, 6 completely different sets of rules. Now here's the twist. Almost every finance video leaves out completely. You think the emotional struggle gets smaller as the number gets bigger. It doesn't shrink, it just changes shape and moves to a new address. Stage 5 isn't a math problem anymore, the math already works by this point. Stage 5 is a fear problem, and fear doesn't care how many zeros are in your account. Derek had a number, he didn't have the nerve. This is called the golden handcuff, and it's the real reason stage 5 traps so many people. The job that built the wealth becomes the exact same job people are terrified to leave. The salary feels too good to walk away from, even once you technically don't need it anymore. So people keep the job, keep the stress, and keep postponing the life the money was supposed to buy. They call it one more year, and then one more year quietly becomes 5. Here's the part that makes it worse. Lifestyle creep doesn't stop at stage 3, it just gets more expensive. At $700,000, a bigger house feels earned, a nicer car feels deserved, private school feels responsible. Every upgrade raises the number you think you need to finally feel safe enough to stop. So the finish line keeps sliding further away, exactly like it did back at stage 3, just with more zeros attached. Marcus did something different, and it wasn't complicated. He picked his number early and he wrote it down where he could actually see it. When his net worth hit that number, he didn't ask for permission to feel ready. He treated the number as a contract with his future self, not a suggestion he could quietly renegotiate. That's the entire difference between Derek and Marcus, and it has nothing to do with intelligence or luck. One of them let the goalpost move, the other one nailed it to the ground. Take a second right now and be honest with yourself. If your net worth doubled overnight, would your life actually look any different tomorrow? For most people, the honest answer is no, and that answer is the whole problem. If money can't change your life at $780,000, an extra $100,000 won't fix that either. The fix isn't the bigger number, it's a clearer one. There are 3 moves that actually break the stage 5 trap. First, write down your real number, the one that funds your actual life, not someone else's highlight reel. Second, separate your identity from your job title, long before your bank account forces you to. Third, take one small leap early, a short sabbatical, a scaled back schedule, prove that the floor won't collapse. Derek finally took that leap at $780,000, 4 months after that night at the kitchen table. He didn't quit everything, he just took 3 unpaid weeks, and the floor held exactly like the math said it would. Nothing bad happened. His fear had simply been louder than his numbers. Life doesn't quietly change on its own once you hit a big number. You have to be the one who decides the number is finally enough. That decision is the real staircase and almost nobody tell you it exists. If this helped you see your own number differently, subscribe to Wealth Logic. We break down the stages nobody warned you about, one honest number at a time. That's the real logic behind why most people get stuck at stage 5.